Hello, everyone, and welcome to World of Mike. I'm just swap that banner there. We are going to be doing issue number 9 here today of Build the Titanic, brought to you by Harshet Partworks. And first one here in the chat today is Megan Nico. Hello, Megan Nico. And then he's put a snoring emoji. I think I've just missed you, Megan Nico. Yeah, 6 p.m. you hit that. And it's now 7 a.m. Obviously, last night, I was literally so tired, I just went to bed. So I've decided to get up really early and do a 7 o'clock in the morning one, which I don't tend to do. But yeah, let's get down to the mat and we'll get this moving. So there we go. So this is issue number 9. And as you can see in issue number 9, it's a floating hotel. Technically is, that's fair one there. Coming up in issue 10 is very exciting because we get keel section and screws plus cylinder heads and valves for the engine. So more the hull, more the engine. Nice little issue, that one, because we get a bit of both. The talkie's given Titanic a voice. Oh, that's a lovely photo. That's really lovely. I like that. That again, another diamond paint in there. So that's really nice. So the attraction of Turkish culture there. And then, as you can see, we're going to be assembling the boat. Now, as you can see in here, I didn't notice that they did this, but if you look down here, they've actually provided us spacers. I don't recall in the Bismarck them doing that, so I'm quite interested with that aspect of it. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. And as you can see, these are the parts that we've got. So all lovely in tissue paper as well. So if we open this up, as you can see, this is lovely, absolutely lovely. They've stapled the screws to the bag so that we don't lose them. As you can see, we've got loads of bits and pieces in here. These parts here, I suspect we'll be using next time, but these are solid silver, these spacers. So we're going to be using them. And we've also got the next joiner, which is really nice. And this is the penultimate issue, guys, because we get to put the two halves of the bow together. So it's really, really, I've been waiting to do that. It's really, really lovely. As you can see, this is all lovely and wrapped up. And that is the other side of the bow. So we'll be doing that. So first things first, we need to bring in a previous bow section, which is this part that we did in a previous assembly. And as you can see, what's going to happen first things first is we need to put this joining panel basically onto the 5 holes that we've got there. You can see here that we've got like a little panel or platform here that's going to face to the bottom. And basically, if you look and just hover that over there, it will tell you that it goes like that. So really, really good. They're going to go in with AM screws. So we're going to have to take these off of here. Okay, so they're GMs. And then I'm assuming, because the thing is with these bags, they don't use the stickers anymore. They use like a print on thing. So they've done without the stickers, but as you can see, they smudge off really easily. So obviously these must be the AMs. So we'll go with that. But yeah, I think Harshet need to bring back the stickers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put AM screws all the way up this panel here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think what I'll do is I'll start it off about halfway first. That'll give us a nice starting point for that. There we go. Wasn't going round. Okay, what's going on with this? Doesn't want to go in. Go a little bit. This is on a slant, but oh, there we go. That's that one in. That's the first one. Definitely feels strange doing the 7 o'clock in the morning video. So as you can see, I don't like to put the part on the mat. I like to hold it up because I'm just worried that I'll scratch it, and I don't want that. That's obviously the hole for the spacers, so that's quite nice. That's that one. I'm so excited to get the, the other part of the bow section. Like clamping this together is like, for me, the ultimate issue. There we go, and then we'll just get the other one and put that in at the top there. So we're going to secure that down the back here. But yeah, I've been really waiting to get these two parts joined in, so I'm really happy with this. Right, so that's our joining panel in. The next step, what we need to do is, obviously, as you can see here, we've got two holes. We've got one there, and we've also got one there. What we now need to do is to secure this panel on here that we did in a previous assembly, like we did on the other panel there. And basically, you can see that this is where we're going to put it. I'm going to lift that up a smidge because where we need to put it, it looks as if this slanted edge goes to the back. So these are going to basically hook on, hook, line and sinker there. And then you'll have like a little overhang at the back of it here for another panel, I should assume. So that's going to go into there like so. So we'll leave that there for the minute. They're going to go in with 2 AM screws. Oh, this is so exciting because I really want to join the hole up now. I've been waiting very patiently for that section. This is, as you can see, that your hand is basically this is where it can get a little bit fiddly because you've got to try and grip it as best you can. It will rattle, but there's a theory to this. If I get another screw through there, put that one in next, you're now really starting to get an idea of how big this is. You see, you see what I mean? It's very hard to grip it. So, hello, what's going on there? There we go. And as you can see, as you screw it in, it clamps it and pulls that shut. So that's going really nice. I just want to, this one didn't go all the way down a bit, so we'll just give that a little bit more compression. And there we go. That is absolutely stunning. What I will say is it's interesting that this one was printed on, but in this one we actually put it on. So it's very interesting. Now is the exciting bit, because what we have to do now is we're now going to apply a spacer through here. So in this little bag, you've got these 2 bars. So we're going to use them and get the bars in. And, oh yeah, that's definitely metal. Wow. These ones here, you can, I don't think we're going to be using them at the moment. So obviously keep them to one side. First things first is obviously we've got this bar here, and what's going to happen is apparently there's a blue dot on one of them. However, near enough, they both look the same to me. I can't see any obvious signs that they're different. That's just going to feed into there. Okay, it says the second hole circled in blue. I can't see any second hole that is circled in blue, so I'm going to say that that goes in that one there. Oh, a bit of a slant. Oh wow. Okay, cool. And then obviously the second one, this one here, it seems to have like a smaller pin. It sort of gets me the vision of a piston, but the smaller of the pin goes in this top one up here apparently. So you want to put the smaller of the pin into the hole that's up here. You don't use glue. It's not saying to use glue, but as you can see, they're called spacers. Okay, now I'm going to bring this up a little bit more because obviously we've got to get quite a lot in now. So once we've done that, the next step is the exciting section. Now, obviously, it's up to you if you want to use glue and glue these bars in. There's no reason why You don't need to use glue. Oh, yes. I'm so excited about this. Oh, man, I've been waiting to get to this point. So, hello. So now, as you can see on this side, we've got a hole here and a hole there that's going to obviously marry up with these two parts here. So what's going to happen is, this is where it could get a bit fiddly. We have to, hang on. Interesting. So we need to, it's got to go like that with that V shape. So I'm wondering, where's that going to, well, that can't go there, surely. How can that go like that? Ah, right. Hang on a minute. So, according to this, there's supposed to be a hole here because, as you can see, we've got this flick, but then according to this, we've got a hole somewhere there. Right. So, where exactly is that going? Have I made... Have I got two of the same bit? Oh, wow. Right. Obviously, there's a hole here for that one. Understood. But I can't see... Well, this is very interesting. Obviously, there's this... It's definitely the right part because we've got that hole up the top here. So I'm trying to ascertain where this... That hole... I don't think they've drilled it. This one... That is definitely the right section. But obviously, they're saying that there's a hole... I reckon that it just rests like that. Obviously, there's no indication. Yeah. Okay, ignore me. I'm talking gibberish. So if you look right up there very close, you can see it just buffers against that this part here. So there's no physical hole for it. That's the confusion. That's a bit naughty, really, because I would have liked to put it in that hole, like that side. But it is what it is. So now we get the idea. Now we get the fantastic part. This is where we need an assistant. Right. Cool, blimey. This is... Once we get the first screw, it's going to be... I think it's easier to go from here. That space has fell out. But these are going to go in with AM screws. But the problem we've got is the spacers fell out. So, okay. So I'm trying to figure out how best to... Might have to bring out the hospital hands. The hospital hands. Oh my God. The octopus hands. Having said that, if we pinch it here, yes. We pinch it there, then we can secure that in. This is very heavy now, guys. This is absolutely stunning. So we've got to... I reckon we'll get like a plug or something that goes over the top of that. I think it's probably easier to work from... If we get the first one in, because that's like the one right up the top here. Okay, that's the first one in. It's a slight gap up the top, but once we get the other screws in, we can see... Right, that gives me a little bit of leverage now. Once we get all the screws in, we'll be able to go back over and just tighten them up. Yeah, that's that one. Oh, this is brilliant. This is absolutely... it's just so nice to get, you know, the two halves together. That's two, and then we need to put one through there. So obviously these GMs will be used for another issue. Wow, this is... I can't get over the quality in this. This is superb. As I said, it's interesting how this one has a spacer in the Bismarck nether, but it could be that Titanic had spacers and maybe the Bismarck didn't. So what I want to do now is just go over and make sure that they're all lovely and tight, because there's no reason why that need, you know, that I can't see any reason why we would need to undo all this again, but that's that. Oh my god, that is absolutely the weight behind this. Yeah, it's definitely, you feel your money's worth in this. So now all that's left to do, the finishing piece, is we get our little stand here, and now, as you can see, we can put that into here, and there we go. How cool is that? So basically, this little lump here sort of acts as a stand. That, my friends, is superb. I really, really like that. So that brings us to the end of this issue. As I said, the only thing that I think they could have done is obviously where we've got a hole here that this space has gone in. It would have been nice if they had another hole the other side. Obviously, that's pushing up against this joiner here, and then obviously the same scenario on the other side. But I think that's brilliant, because that spacer, what the idea of that is so that if there was, I don't know, if you knocked it by accident, it wouldn't squash that metal, and that spacer is to stop that from happening. What I'm noticing is obviously with the Bismarck, I would have shown you, but I sold it, so I don't have the first run of the Bismarck hole. Otherwise, I would have compared it. But I am noticing that this is much more deeper inside here than the Bismarck. I think the Bismarck was only sort of about probably that much. So this is much more deeper. And yeah, it's interesting they didn't give us another stand, but at least we've got something to stand it on. What you might want to do is, I don't want to smudge that paint. What you might want to do is just put some tape in there, just to act as a cushion for it. But the weight behind this, it's so heavy. And as you can see, what the next issue is, if we just put that over there for 1 minute, see again, it's going to hold there, but it's only temporary. So it will, if you knock it, it's going to slide. But as you can see here, the next issue, we've got a panel here, the keel section. So what will happen with that section there is going to fit into this slot down here. So upside down, you'll fit that and bolt it to this section here, and that will feed up to there, and a lovely little slot. And then it's the exciting part, because what happens then is we then move the keel up and up and up and up. I think obviously several weeks we're going to be doing this side, that side, this side, that side. Well, they may give us a bit of the engine, but again, what I am noticing as well is this side has what looks to be some sort of platform, and this side doesn't. So there's very, very interesting with this. Very, very interesting. So whether it's because this side has more joiners, because you can see here that we've got 2 joiners here, and this one only has 1 joiner, or maybe it doesn't need it on that side. Obviously, there's a hole here for something. That will be where the forecast gets bolted onto the top here, and we secure it down with there. So the smaller holes are to secure the forecast in. The only other thing I'm noticing is there's a massive gap up the top here. So obviously that is a little bit concerning. Oh, right. Okay. What's going on there? Right, I may have to take this off and have a wee look, because I'm noticing that this part here, that's not completely pressed over. Okay. Interesting. Right, I can see it looks like it's it looks like it's missed. It just needs to push over a bit. I think that's what the issue is. It needs to push over, and then we need to countersink, like push it down a bit. So I'll have a play with that. But overall, it's really, really impressive. I do think, what's that? I don't know what that white dot is. What the hell's that? I'll have to have a look at that. But I do think obviously we'll have an anchor that goes through here. I do think obviously we'll have like little panels to put over here, like little brick sections like that. As I said, it's really nice. And once that's it, I may glue them in because there's no reason for that to come off. We'll get another anchor put through there. That's obviously going to be, I suspect, a searchlight, having assessed inside that shaft. That's a little bit on, you see there's a very tiny slit. So I don't think that is for a searchlight. Yeah, there's no way you'd feed that through because you've got a notch here. But yeah, that is, oh my God, like that is beautiful. So see what I mean? So it doesn't really, it's only temporary. It doesn't stand up properly, but that is that. So that's issue number 9, all done and dusted, the penultimate issue. So if you are watching and you want to know when you bolt it, it's issue number 9 coming up next week because it is weekly now. So we'll get it weekly. We will have, as I said, where is it supposed to join? So these things here are called a clet thing, clet CBADENF. So this thing here, I don't have a clue what the hell a clet is. So that's what obviously a clet is. Something with obviously pins on the back of it. So I'm not entirely sure what they do at this moment in time. But the thing is with Titanic is I've learned, so because I love the ship so much. I've watched the film hundreds of times. I've done it in preschool. I know an awful lot about Titanic. But yeah, it's nice to do a model that you have so much passion for, not so much passion, but that reminds me that reminds me of something. But it's nice to do a build where you have so much, you know so much about it. But yeah, I just think that is so heavy, it's unreal. The quality's there. If you like what you see, get this one. Don't get the Eagle Moss one. The Eagle Moss one, as far as I'm concerned, is crap because it's wood. You're not going to get anything like this. Harsh Air are the guys that you need because they are brilliant. That is bugging me, that bit at the top. I'm going to have to look into what's causing that. Yeah, but anyway, so that is that all done for another week. And don't forget, you guys in America will be getting yours in May. Yeah. So that's that. Looking forward to the next issue. Obviously, it is weekly now. So, yeah, it's just so... I really want to get the forecast. I don't know where the forecast is, but wherever it is, we could have put that on. But I mean, it's also as well, it's interesting that we don't get to put the forecast on the top and bolt that down as well. Having said that, we've obviously got to put another panel here. So obviously, I suspect they want to get that one in first. Then obviously, put the forecast down. What I do also think is, obviously, I think it's going to be a case of this side, that side, this side, that side for a few weeks. I mean, I think the engine's probably near enough there. So, I mean, a lot of the issues is near enough going to be planks all the time, bow sections all the time. But what we're going to notice as well is obviously it started off thin and it's now going to start to get fatter and fatter and fatter as we move it up. But yeah, I think that's very impressive. That one's more thicker. This one's more thinner, but that is superb. I really, really like that. Obviously, again, there's a slight gap there as well. So you can see if you push it. So it's interesting what's causing that. But maybe, obviously, I think what the case is there is obviously once we get that keel section in, we'll bolt it down and it will compress it and sandwich it together. But that is, I'm really loving that. Absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you like that video. That is it for Titanic this week. But don't forget, tonight we have the return of the diamond painting Titanic. So it's a double diamond paint. It's a double Titanic day. And then Obviously, tomorrow I'm thinking of doing Bismarck, so I may cut the diamond painting again because I need to try and get Bismarck fit squeezed in. Or we may do, Bismarck in the morning and diamond painting in the evening. But overall, I'm really, really enjoying this build. It's lovely to work on. People often ask me what's my favourite build. As much as I love Titanic, I can't call it. I love all the builds that I work on. So, and what's nice is obviously we've been able to... This has been a lovely, lovely week because... what the fuck happened here? Oh, come on, man. Oh, God's sake. What the hell? Yeah, so obviously what's nice here is we've been able to, this week as well, we've been able to clamp the Eddie Stobart together, the two halves. And thanks to Dafty MC for the very valuable information about the next couple of issues coming up. And obviously we've been able to bolt that ship together as well. It's really lovely and very exciting stuff. Hope you like that video. I'll be back tonight with diamond painting live. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.